we've talked about how much teaming with your brother has meant to you, how important it was. But even given all of that, did you kind of enjoy your singles run a little bit more, just because you felt kind of like, oh, this is an individual accomplishment? Like I did this, or
yeah, yeah, I did. It wasn't I did this. It was, I needed to do this.
Okay.
Roddy Piper, he asked me a question. Your brother's awesome. How do you keep up with him? I said, well, I appreciate you comparing me with him, saying that I keep up with him. But there's sometimes you have to got to override your want to. And I was saying, yeah, I had to mentally for my sake, work hard and get over, and handle it, So it was the same working with Vince. I just had to. I'm a pride guy too, just like he is.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of my work, very proud of how I handle myself, and so I'm a stubborn. He always called me one of the most stubborn people he ever worked with, and I agreed with him. I said my wife told me the same thing, so nothing I hadn't heard. But I was with him 36 years, so must have done something right.
Right. Yeah, that's just, it's really interesting that you talk about just the kind of the amount of pride you feel, because even as a student, like, admittedly my first few semesters at school I didn't take it as seriously because I didn't understand the gravity.
Sound familiar?
But then it's like you just realize that what changed really my perspective was the realization that this is what I'm putting out into the world, and even if it doesn't really matter that much in like maybe 5 or 10 years, it's this is what you're contributing to the world.
Who knows, Ryan,
well, yeah,
5 or 10 years.
But it's what you're contributing, and you should to the world. Like, this is your contribution to society. And it's like you should take pride in it. So I think that's definitely a really good mentality to have for success, and clearly it seemed to work for you, because you won quite a few titles and were quite successful. Were there any ones that really specifically kind of stood out for you?
Well, I as a kid, the title that Danny Hodge was my hero. I mean, we in the same area of Oklahoma, separated about 15 miles. So I was really aware of Hodge all my life, and Hodge was my hero. Hodge was junior heavyweight champion of the world. I wanted to be junior heavyweight champion of the world. I won the title, and I was so proud that I finally, because that was one of my goals when I started in the business, and I finally achieved that goal. And Dusty Rhodes was the first one to hit the ring, because he knew what it meant to me. Dusty Rhodes was the first one to hit the ring when I won, followed by my brother and the rest of the guys in the back that were so happy. So that's really the single moment I remember, and I'm very proud of, very honored to have. And like I said, Dusty being the first one out to congratulate me. But probably, like I said in the earlier part of it, Jack and I's goal when we went to Carolina, we'd never had a world tag team belts, and that was the only thing we hadn't had worldwide. So we went there to do that and win the world championship with him, tag team championship with him. It is a memory that I'll cherish forever, because he and I did it together. And we weren't, and that's where, people get it so wrong. We weren't Brisco Brother tag team forever in our career.
Mm-hmm.
We just did that towards the end of our career, but it just so happened that, there were angles going around the country that we would fill in, get in, and the promoters liked it, our work, and so we would end up with the championships, but, and then we'd drop them soon. But our goal wasn't to be a tag team. Our goal was to be great single guys, and we not only accomplished that, but we accomplished being one of the most talked about tag teams ever do.
Yeah, that's just really interesting too, because even growing up, when I would read the textbooks, it was always like the Brisco brothers, but as I further developed, I realized the individual success. But you had mentioned earlier that you and your brother had kind of made like a tentative plan to team up later on.
towards the end of her career, which that's what we did.
Was that kind of like, did you have like an idea that, you know, your body couldn't hold up forever, so it would be smarter to take some weight off both of yourselves like later on, or was it just kind of like, oh, you know, I really just want to focus on myself?
That really had nothing to do with it. It just had, you know, just the thing, you know, we wanted those belts. We, as far as taking weight off of ourselves, that's where I think we stood out and were different. Jack and I were businessmen. I mean, we always invested. I mean, every place I went, every city I went, I bought real estate. Jack bought real estate. We were investing in with Brisco Brothers Body Shop.
Right.
We had like over 70 houses at one time throughout the United States that we owned. You know, so that's how we were going to take stress off of our bodies at the end of our career and retire on that. You know, not retire on being a tag team. No.
Right.